what's up everybody, this is me Ray from raynavaz.com and welcome back to this brand new After Effects tutorial. In this tutorial we are gonna create a urban intro animation inside of After Effects, and I will also be sharing a folder structure of the template that you can create your custom and ready-made templates to sell on different platforms such as Envato Element, Video Hive and Motion Ray. And I will also be sharing a free After Effects plugin that will help you to create professional looking motion graphics and animations inside of After Effects. So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into After Effects and get started. Alright guys, here we are in After Effects, and this tutorial is gonna be a fully detailed tutorial, so make sure you watch it till the end. Now first of all, we will go over here and create a new folder and rename it to -01 assemble/render. In this folder we will keep our assemble and render compositions. Now select this folder and create a new composition and rename it to render. As our main render comp, width and height is 1920 by 1080, 30 fps and 15 seconds long, and hit OK. Now select this composition and press Ctrl D to make a duplicate, and press enter on your keyboard to rename that and rename it to assemble. Perfect. Now click over here to deselect everything and create another folder and rename it to -02 scenes here. Perfect. Now select this folder to create a composition inside of this folder. Create a new composition and rename it to scene_01. Properties same as our previous composition, and hit OK. Now deselect everything and create another folder and rename it to -03 media comps, and select this and create a new composition and rename it to media_01. Properties same as our previous composition, and hit OK. Now I promise you that this is gonna be our last folder that I'm gonna create right here. Deselect everything and create a new folder and rename it to -04 assets. Perfect. Now in this folder we will drag and drop all our videos and images that we are gonna use in this tutorial. Drag and drop it here. Perfect. All the images are right over here. Perfect. Now make sure you are in the media comp 1 and drag and drop this first image right here and press S to scale it down somewhere around here. Perfect. Now select this rectangle tool, close this one right here, and let's make some room right over here like this, and go over here and turn on the title action save and draw a shape like so. Perfect, like this. Now go into rectangle 1, rectangle path 1, and change the roundness to around 60% like this. Now close its properties and select the image and go into track matte option. So if you don't see your track matte options, so you can click over here to see that, and select this pick whip if you are using the newer version of After Effects, so you will see that, and parent it right over here, track matte, so that image will be created like this. Perfect. Now go into scene 1 and drag and drop this media comp right here, and now take the type tool and type in the text that you want. I'm gonna type keep practicing keep growing and hyphen again. For the font, I'm gonna use this Monument Extended Regular. You can download this font from the link in description. Now select all, and now select the selection tool and make sure your text layer is selected, and after that select this rectangle tool and go over here and turn on this title action save and draw a mask like this. Perfect, like this. All right, now go into text path and change the path to mask 1. So our text will be created like this. Now turn on the reverse path, so our text will look like this. Perfect. Now double click on this, press Ctrl C on your keyboard to copy this text, and after that press right arrow key on your keyboard to deselect all the text and go at the very end of your text and press space, and after that press Ctrl V to paste the text right over here, as you can see that here. Again press Ctrl V, again press Ctrl V, and one more time and one more time to paste it all around our image. Now press Ctrl A to select all and change its kerning as you want, like this. Perfect. After that, go at the very beginning of your timeline and add a keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch of the first margin. After that, go at the very end and change the margin to somewhere around 700 or maybe 800, somewhere around here. Perfect. Alright, and this is how our text will look like. Now close its properties and again take the type tool and type in the text that you want. I'm gonna type urban. For the font, I'm gonna take a Morganite bold and scale it up like so and change its tracking to 0% and align it into the center like this. Scale it up more little bit, maybe somewhere around here. To move this anchor point into the center of this text, simply hold Ctrl on your keyboard and double click on the span behind tool, so the anchor point will be moved in the center. Perfect. After that, go into properties of this text and select this text, go to animate and enable per character 3D. Perfect. Now select this text and go into animate and add opacity and select this animator 1 and add scale like this. Now go into more options and change the grouping alignment to -40% like this. Then change the scale to 200% like this and change the opacity to 0%. Then go at 1 second and go into range selector 1 and change the offset to 100% and add a keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch icon of the offset like this. Then go at the very beginning of your animation and change the offset to -100% like this. Now go into advanced and change the shape to ramp up ease height to -100% like this and select the last keyframe and hit F9 on your keyboard to make it easy ease. And this is how our text will look like. Now close its properties right over here and right click over here, new, and take a new null layer and align it into the center like this. So to move the anchor point of the null layer into the center of that, simply hold Ctrl on your keyboard and double click on the span behind tool, so the anchor point will be moved in the center. Perfect. Now rename it to control underscore media 1 like this. Now select these 3 layers and go into parent link and parent it to the null layer like this. Now go at 1 second and press S to reveal the scale properties and add a keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch icon. After that, go at the very beginning of your animation and scale it down to 50% like this. Select both the keyframes and here we will use this script which is free, and you can download this script from the link in the description, and that will save us a lot of time. Like we select the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease, go into graph editor and all that stuff. So we simply can select both the keyframes, go into graph editor and select over here, and we can drag it like so, as you can see right over here. Now make it 100%, go back, and this is how our animation will look like. Now go at 15 frames, you can see that right over here, and trim this null layer right over here at 15 frames. You can zoom your timeline by holding Alt on your keyboard and scroll the mouse scroll wheel like this, and go at 15 frame and drag it right over here. Now select this selection tool and drag this null layer right over here. Now go at the very beginning and close its properties and select all, then go at 2 frames and drag it right over here, and this is our animation will look like. Now click on this toggle switches and turn on the motion blur for all these layers, and this is our animation will look like. Perfect. Now go at 1 second and select this null layer and press S to reveal the scale properties, and select this keyframe and press Ctrl C to copy it and press Ctrl V to paste it. Now go at 2 seconds and change the scale to 50% like this. Select both the keyframes and make them easy ease with this script, so that will save us a lot of time. Perfect. Now select this media 1 in the project panel and press Ctrl D 4 times to make it 4 more duplicates, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now select all of these and double click to open all at once. Now go in the media 2 and select this image, and over here we will select the second image and hold Alt on your keyboard to replace it with that one like this. Perfect. That's easy and smooth, right? Perfect. Now go into third one, select this image and select the image that you want to replace. Select, hold Alt and drag and drop it here. Perfect. Go into fourth one, select this and select the fourth one, drag and hold Alt like this. Perfect. Again like this. Perfect. Done. Now go into the scene 1 and drag and drop these 4 compositions right over here. Perfect. Now let's change their color so we can recognize them easily. And after that, right click over here, new, and take a null object, select it and align it into the center like this, and change the anchor point with that tool. Center, right, left, up, down, like so. Keep it into the center. Perfect. Now select these 4 compositions and press S to reveal the scale properties and change them all to 50% like this. Perfect. Now select the second one and go into align tab and align it into the left side and top side to place it right over here. Now select the third one, right align and top to place it right over here. Now select the fourth one, align it to the left side. After that, align it to the bottom like this. Now select the fifth one and align it to the right side and at the bottom like this. Perfect. After that, go at 1 second and drag all of these compositions at 1 second and press U to close its properties like this. Now go at 2 seconds and select this null layer and press S to reveal the scale properties and add a keyframe on scale, and go at 1 second and scale it up to somewhere around 140 like this, and select both the keyframes and make them easy ease with this script. Perfect. Now go at 1 second and 15 frame and trim this layer right over here and drag it to this one by pressing shift on your keyboard. Now drag them at 1 second and 15 frame and select these layers and press Alt plus right bracket to trim them from the right side like this, and turn on the motion blur for all of these layers, and this is how our animation will look like. Perfect. Close the properties of all the layers. Perfect. Now go at 2 second and 15 frame, select these 4 layers and press Ctrl Shift and D to trim them from that point and drag all of them on top of that. Perfect. Now select this media comp tool and select this pan behind tool and make sure your snapping is on like this, and move its anchor point right over here, and that same thing you can do with this script. Alright, now select the media 3 and change its anchor point to the top right corner. Now select the fourth one and move its anchor point to the bottom left corner. Now select the fifth one and you have to move its anchor point to the bottom right corner. Perfect. Now select all of these layers and press S to reveal the scale property and add a keyframe on scale, and go at 3 second and 15 frame right over here. Perfect. So here's the tricky part. You have to keep the composition on the top which you want to show up. In my case, I want to show up the fifth one, so I have kept this one on top. Perfect. Now change the media comp to 0% and change the third one to 100%, fourth one 100% as well, and fifth one 100% as well, like this. Perfect. Now select all the keyframes and make them easy ease by going over here. Perfect. And this is how our animation will look like. Now go at 1 second and select these two text and press Ctrl D to make a duplicate and drag them all the way up, and select the selection tool and drag them right over here like this. Now keep it at 3 seconds right over here, and this is how it will look. Now go into the parent and link and make it a none and press S to scale it up 100% like this and align it into the center like this. Perfect. Now select this text and place it below this composition and go at here and drag it somewhere around here and press and go at 3 second and 15 frame and add a keyframe on scale property and go at 2 second and 15 frame and scale it down to somewhere around 70% like this. Perfect. Now select both the keyframes and make them easy ease like this, and go at 3 seconds and trim this layer right over here and go at 3 second and 10 frame and drag it somewhere around here, and this is how it will look like this. Let's drag it to somewhere around maybe 3 second and 7 frames would be a sweet spot like this. Perfect. And this is our animation looks like so far. Perfect. Alright, so to change that text, simply take the type tool and click over here and select all, and you can type whatever you want. like this. Now select this one. Now go at 5 seconds and press Ctrl A and press U to close all the properties, and go at 5 seconds and right click over here, create a new null layer and make the anchor point into the center and align it into the center as well. Now drag it right over here and press and select the last 3 layers and make the null 3 parent of these layers, and go at 5 seconds and press S by selecting this null layer to reveal the scale property and add a scale, and go at 6 seconds right over here and scale it down to somewhere around 60%. Oh, we have to trim these 4 layers, so select these layers by holding Ctrl on your keyboard and press U to reveal the keyframes, and deselect this one because we have to keep that, and these background ones we have to trim that by holding Alt and right bracket on your keyboard and trim that like this. Perfect. Now this is our animation will look like. Perfect. And let's change it to 60% like this and select both the keyframes and make them like this. Now press N to trim the timeline right over here, and so our timeline is trimmed, and right click over here and trim comp to the work area like this. Perfect. But we are not done yet. We have to go into assemble comp and place it right over here. Perfect. And close this one. Now drag and drop the scene one right over here, and this is it will look. Now select this scene one right over here and press Ctrl D to make a duplicate and drag it right over here and place it to 5 seconds and 13 frame right here. Perfect. Now double click on this scene 2, go down here and select this controller and press U to reveal the keyframes and drag it to somewhere around here to reveal this keyframe, and go at the very beginning and change it to 150 like this. Now drag it to somewhere around here, and after that go back into the assemble comp, and this is our animation will look like this. Perfect. Now you want to change the pictures of this second scene, simply go into scene 2. Now press Ctrl A to select all the layers and press U to close all the properties. Perfect, like this. Now go into project panel and select all these compositions by holding shift on your keyboard and press Ctrl D to make 5 more duplicates of these composition. It will automatically create 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now double click on all these compositions. All right, and after that drag the scene to right over here. Now you have to select the media 1, and this is going to be your media 6, right? So we have to select the media 6 and drag it and hold Alt on your keyboard and replace it with that. And our second media would be the media 7, and select both of these by holding Control on your keyboard and drag it down here. And our third one is the 8 one. Hold Alt on your keyboard and replace it like this. So I'm gonna speed up the process so you can see that. Perfect. Now we have to replace the media of all these 5 composition. Go into 6 one and select image. Go down here and select the 6th one and hold Alt and replace it like this, as I have explained before. So let me speed up this process as well. Now I'll go into assemble comp, and this is how our final animation will look like. Perfect. So you can change the text as your liking. This is mine looks like. Perfect. So finally we have to add the background to this. Simply right click over here, new, and create a new solid layer and rename it to BG. Perfect. Drag it down like so. Go into effect and preset window and search for fill effect. Drag and drop it here and change its color to black. Perfect. Now go at 1 second and 15 frame right over here and press Ctrl Shift D to trim it right over here. After that go at 3 seconds and trim it again by pressing Ctrl Shift and D. Now go over here and select this and change its color to whatever color that you want. I'm gonna select this orange color right over here and go over here at the end of the scene 1 composition and trim it by holding Alt and right bracket on your keyboard. Now select all of these layers by pressing Shift on your keyboard and press Ctrl D to make a duplicate and drag it right over here and drag them like this and change its color to somewhere around this. Maybe no, I don't like that. Simply change to somewhere around here. Let's go with this and that color. Perfect. And this is our final animation will look like. Perfect. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have learned something new in this tutorial, and if you really did, consider subscribing and also press the bell icon so you will get notified whenever I will post a new tutorial. and I will see you in my next tutorial. Till then, keep practicing, keep growing. Bye.